Hello, interwebs.
Hello, extra webs.
Extra webs, interwebs,
Outer webs.
outer webs, all of the webs. Hello to you.
Except for spider webs. I don't like spider webs.
Okay, not hello to the web. No spider webs.
So, what are...
Spider eating bird man.
Alright, he's very real and he's out there.
He's very real and he's out there. Alright, it's time. We've watched 5 episodes of Stevn Universe in a row. Well, not in a row, scattered over various weeks and times and days and things like that. And now it's time for us to bring you 15 things that we learned from the last 5 episodes of Stevn Universe. Now, normally we would say, because we've done this twice, we would say 15 things that we learned from the last Stevn bomb, but there wasn't an actual Stevn bomb. So we're just going to say 15 things that we learned from the last 5 episodes.
Which doesn't sound as cool.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, I didn't say it was bad. I just said it didn't sound as cool.
All right. Well, maybe we can make it sound cool if we say something cool for the intro. Something cool for the intro. All right. So the first thing that I noticed was that Greg followed the NEC when he built the house. All of the outlets next to water sources are GFCI, and I think that's great for Stevn's safety and for the safety of the gyms, and it means that the house is less likely to burn down. And I think we can all agree that's a good thing.
Yeah, I certainly noticed that. I was very aware about everything he just said. But more importantly, what I thought was great.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think that Stevn and Parm would make great Jaeger pilots.
What the hell is a Jaeger pilot?
Alright, next.
Well, I have no idea what either of those things mean, and I'm not even going to pretend like he did. But what I thought was really important was that Marceline is a pop star.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. What was the song?
Haven't you noticed I'm a star?
Haven't you noticed? Haven't you noticed? Marceline is a star.
Well, I did.
Something near and dear to my heart. I noticed that an old-fashioned punishment requires old-fashioned calculations.
I'll have a talk with your father to calculate just how grounded you are. And we're using the abacus.
Yeah, you gotta get that abacus out like
You gotta get that abacus out. I'm going to buy an abacus now.
Do you know how to use one?
I hate that.
Actually, I do know how to use an abacus.
Yeah, it's like 1s and 10s, right?
Yes, it's 1s and 10s,
yeah.
it's 10s and 1s, it's beats, and you go back and forth. It's actually really simple.
Yeah, alright. Another
you should teach
cool
me
thing.
how to do that so that I can learn how to properly ground my kids.
Yeah, you know what? As soon as this video is done, I'm all over that. Did I turn the microphone on?
Let's check. Pop up right there. Go now. Otherwise,
can you see the green light?
Yeah.
Okay, then. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
All right.
Microphone is on.
Microphone is on. All right.
And
what was I talking about? Oh, punishments.
Yeah. Stevn polishes his gem before bed.
Seriously, we're gonna go. It wasn't bad enough that we had Playful Kitty. We gotta be polishing his gem.
What?
Really?
I don't know what's going on. So but I do know that cups don't know how to spell Stevn's name.
That's true.
That's right.
Put that in the video, right?
All right. Stevn watches Looney Tunes.
What's up, Dot?
What's up, Dot?
Oh right, that's me.
It's you.
Stevn watches Looney Tunes, but Stevn has in fact never seen a Transformers movie.
That's true, because if he had seen a Transformers movie, he would know that giant robots should totally fight.
Stop! Giant robots shouldn't fight! Lion has very good brakes.
Although apparently there are no leash laws in Beach City.
Yeah,
so you can just wander around with your lion, especially lion, especially as well as lion listens to Stevn. Yeah.
Amethyst, we found out, is related to Sonic. I don't know how many of you guys play Smash Brothers, but he copied a very iconic move dear to our hearts.
Yes.
About to do. I was transitioning.
It's transitioning.
Amethyst has tried to flush herself down the toilet before.
It doesn't work.
If you're trying to flush yourself down the toilet, it won't work. Trust me, I've tried.
Can Sonic flush himself down the toilet? Because that would be funny if he could, and then Amethyst couldn't.
I'm sure that in whatever Sonic Boom new TV show is going on,
There
there's been
will
a
be,
toilet. Yeah.
at some point, Sonic will try to
someone
flush
will
himself
go down
down
the
the
toilet.
Well, I don't know why Amethyst can't flush herself down the toilet. I mean, if she's polymorphic, couldn't she just
She
turn
could
into a snake?
Shape change and
Turn into a snake and-
yeah. Well, then she wouldn't need to flush. She could just
she could
go.
And I can just slither around as a snake whenever I want,
Goldfish?
so why would I want to do it when there's water?
Yeah.
The whole point is flushing.
Right.
That's the cool part.
Right. So something that I thought was, I found really interesting over the course of when they captured Peridot and when, catch and release and back to the barn and even when they went to the kindergarten and When It Rains, Peridot never summoned a weapon.
Yeah.
She never summoned a weapon out of her gem. Now we've seen Garnet Garnet has summoned a weapon, Pearl, Amethyst, Malachite,
Ruby.
Well,
Ruby.
actually, Malachite hasn't summoned a weapon, but Jasper has.
But yeah, so we saw Jasper, we saw Lapis with the wings. We've seen every gem and every gem fusion almost summon some kind of weapon out of their gem, except Peridot. And I think that's really interesting because I don't know if she hasn't been trained to summon a weapon or if she doesn't have that ability.
So it brings up the question, is summoning a weapon not a normal thing for gems? Is this something that you're trained for combat, like using a sword or something like that? Can you summon a weapon because you've been trained to fight during, this war for Earth? Is that not a normal thing? What is life on Homeworld like,
Right.
Do only certain gems have the ability to summon weapons?
Well, we have seen that according to the stuff that we've learned in here, that the gems do have specific jobs. I mean, it's absolutely specific. Peridot
Hammered it in.
hammers down on Pearl that she's a pearl, that she's an accessory, that she's.
So gem society is not necessarily like a top-down hierarchy, but it is a caste system. Certain people have certain jobs and you're bred into the position that you're made for, and you're not supposed to deviate from that. Like, it's unheard of to deviate. Imagine a Peridot with a pearl. What would they think back on Homeworld?
And that was one of the things that came up in that episode in Back to the Barn that really bothered me on, I don't know, kind of on a basic level, and I don't mean like it bothered me that they did it in the episode, but it was one of these demonstrations of the types of things that, like, for social change that are going on right now. While we're looking at the rights for various groups, now we're looking at the LGBT community and the rights that they are fighting for, and we're still 60, 70 years later, we're still fighting for equality between the genders. And so this bred in racism where she's not hateful.
Yeah,
It's
how things are for her.
She just well, that's how things are.
Yeah.
You're a pearl. How do you make
possibly do this?
Right? How do you make her go away?
Yeah.
And that is in my thinking. That's the worst kind of racism. It's the worst kind. It's the kind that the people who are perpetrating don't even recognize. So I think it was very interesting that they brought it up in the episode, and I think that it was a good. It's always this Stevn universe, the Creativerse, and they do these things and they bring it out there and they put it up for us to look at, and I'm always impressed with those kinds of things.
But I think that if Gem Society is class-based, Pearl has definitely evolved beyond what her original purpose was. She has grown so much.
Right.
Like Stevn said, if pearls are really how Peridot was describing them, then Pearl isn't common at all. She's amazing, and she works really hard to break free of...
We look at this and we see that Garnet and Pearl broke away from Homeworld, and Garnet specifically cites breaking away from Homeworld to be able to be Garnet because she's not free to be who she is on Homeworld. Again, another message to talk about the Stevn Universe crew putting out. And you know, Pearl has broken away for Rose specifically. You know, she's fighting for Rose, she's fighting for Stevn now, but the question is, you know, when she came to Earth originally, what was she doing? Was she part of the war originally? Was she there originally to harvest gems because that's what Rose was doing? You know, looking at her, how far has she evolved? Was she part of the crew that was like, yeah, let's hollow out Earth, no biggie, we gotta have more people, right?
Right. Well, and I think also it speaks to her reactions during Rose's scabbard when she found out that Lion was out pocket, when she found out that Lion was an accessory and kind of Rose's accessory. And so I think this is one of those things that kind of shows me or hints to me that and I mentioned this in the last video after Back to the Barn, that Rose may have been spoils of war, that Pearl may have been spoils of war, that Rose defeated whoever owned Pearl and then gave Pearl her freedom. And I think it really emphasizes Pearl's reactions during Rose's scabbard. If Pearl believed that Rose was evolved beyond that narrow thinking and regarded her as a person, and then to find out that Rose had that exact same thing with Lion.
I see where you're going.
I mean, that would be that's a moment where you know, Rose had this hero worship, and she had Pearl had this vision of Rose on this pedestal, and she found out that Rose was flawed, and it was, I think that really clarifies how devastated she was during the events of that.
So yeah, we're looking forward to watching more. As always, the story and everything going on is unfolding spectacularly. The writing is great, characters are great, the music is great.
Yeah. And I think we've gone through 15 things, which means it's probably time for us to say something clever for the outro. Something clever for the outro.
This is kind of boring. Something boring for the outro.
I thought we could do like a cool, you know, fact, or you know, like Triceratops, their crest has all of the same bones that wing bones do. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We already knew this. This isn't new news. This has been known for like multiple years now.
It's still a fact.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't know.
I feel like
water is wet.
Wow.